Imagine being offered the golden ticket every golfer dreams of, a chance to play at a PGA Tour event, and saying no, not because you're scared or because you're not ready, but because they told you to leave your camera behind. That's exactly what happened when Grant Horvat, one of golf's biggest digital stars, turned down an invite to the PGA Tour's Barracuda Championship. This is the story of how a 26-year-old YouTuber who never competed in a PGA Tour event became one of the most talked about names in golf. And why, to the old guard, that might just be the biggest threat of all. Grant Horvat was born into golf, but not into golf fame. He grew up in Michigan, where his father, Steve Horvat, was a golf pro. Now, you'd think that meant Grant picked up a club as soon as he could walk, right? But actually, he didn't touch the game until he was around 12 or 13. Up until then, he only played football. In fact, he even thought golf was boring. Still, golf was always within arm's reach. With a dad who lived and breathed the game, the door was always open. And eventually, curiosity crept in. At 13, something clicked. Grant went to his dad and said he was ready to give golf a shot. That's when it all began. The long sessions, the fundamentals, the focus on grip, stance, posture. His father taught him everything, and together, they built a swing from the ground up. After high school, the family moved to Florida. Grant enrolled at Palm Beach Atlantic University and played 4 years of college golf there. But even then, he wasn't chasing the pro dream. In one of his YouTube videos, Grant admitted he never really wanted to turn professional while in college. But right before his final year, something, or rather someone, shifted everything. He met Garrett from GM Golf, a YouTube channel that was already gaining major traction. The two hit it off instantly. So instead of grinding through Q School or hustling on mini tours, Grant made an unconventional move. He joined the GM Golf crew, a group known for trick shots, golf challenges, and behind-the-scenes course life with a raw, relatable vibe. And Grant? He fit right in. With his smooth swing, clean style, and calm confidence, he quickly stood out. Then came Good Golf, the viral powerhouse that flipped golf content on YouTube. From group matches to world travel trying out different golf courses, each of their videos garnered millions of views. At a time when the PGA Tour was losing the casual crowd, Grant and his squad were bringing them in by the millions. But just when it looked like he'd found his place, he walked away. In late 2022, Grant announced he was leaving Good. The split wasn't messy, at least not publicly, but to fans it felt like the band was breaking up. So when the news dropped, the internet did what it does: speculate and react. Some fans were supportive. Others questioned Grant's loyalty. Why leave now? Why not just fix things and stay? In the eyes of some, walking away from Good meant walking away from the group that gave him a platform. But Grant had his reasons, and he laid them out in a video posted on his personal YouTube channel. He called this the hardest decision he had ever made. He also explained that he needed a new direction, one that allowed him to take full creative control of his content, build his own schedule, and importantly, move back to Florida and spend more time with his dad. Grant wasn't just trying to make videos, he was trying to build something of his own. And almost overnight, he did. Grant's YouTube videos were pulling in millions of views each month, and brand collaborations, from apparel to golf tech, started lining up. All this because he had built trust with his viewers. Fans felt like they knew him, because Grant wasn't just producing content, he was opening a window into his life. From detailed swing tutorials to casual range sessions with his dad, from course vlogs to honest reflections on pressure and burnout, Grant was offering more than entertainment. He was offering access, a version of golf that felt real, raw, and refreshing. Soon, Grant Horvat had become one of the most recognizable names in golf online. His YouTube channel surpassed 1.4 million subscribers, and each of his videos pulls in millions of views. Then, in early 2025, something unexpected happened. Grant Horvat received a sponsor's exemption to the PGA Tour's Barracuda Championship. On paper, it was a huge opportunity, a step into the world of professional golf's highest level. But there was one major problem. The PGA Tour's media policy strictly prohibits filming during tournament play unless cleared through their official production teams. For someone like Grant, whose entire platform is built on documenting his experience, this was non-negotiable. No cameras meant no vlogs, and no direct connection with his audience. So, he declined. He later posted a YouTube video titled, "Why I'm Not Playing a PGA Tour Event," where he laid it all out. Without the ability to film, he said, the experience wouldn't be genuine. It wouldn't feel like him. After all, the only reason he got that invite in the first place was because of his YouTube presence and the loyal audience behind it. So if he was going to play, he needed them to be part of it. The response was overwhelming. The video racked up hundreds of thousands of views, but it was the comments that really stood out. One fan pointed out how ironic it was that the PGA invited him because of his YouTube presence, but wouldn't allow him to put it on YouTube. What should have been a celebratory moment turned into a clear signal. The PGA may want relevance and more views by including YouTube famous golfers, but not at the cost of control. And Grant's decision didn't just shock the PGA, it turned heads around the globe. Because in that moment, Grant made it clear he didn't need to chase legitimacy through the PGA. He was going to do things his way. To understand why Grant's decision may have shocked the PGA, you have to understand what he represents. He's not a golfer trying to break into the system. He's a creator proving you don't need it. The PGA Tour has always controlled the spotlight, from who gets it, how long they get it, to what they're allowed to do with it. But Grant controls his own narrative. And here's the thing, people are watching. A lot more people than most tour pros can claim. And that's why he's a threat. Because if more players follow his path, the PGA loses its grip on the narrative. But to be fair, the PGA isn't blind to the digital wave. They backed Netflix's Full Swing docuseries, expanded their social media presence, and even relaxed dress codes to let personality shine through. But beneath those surface-level changes lies a deeper issue. They still want to own the story. They want fresh faces, but not too independent. They want modern, but on their terms. And when Grant declined the Barracuda invitation, it exposed that contradiction. Because if you really want the next generation, you have to let them speak in their language. So the question becomes, what matters more, old school prestige or new age connection? And more importantly, can the PGA afford to keep choosing the former? Because Grant isn't the last of his kind, he's amongst the firsts. Already, more creators are blending competition with content. They're building brands without needing the blessing of legacy institutions. Grant Horvat may never lift a tour trophy. He may never play Augusta or St. Andrews in official capacity. But he has already done something just as meaningful. Built a loyal and growing audience that doesn't care about tour status. They care about the game and the way he makes them feel connected to it. And that's a real threat to golf's old guard.